What's up, guys? Pyromaniac 720 here, and I have for you round 3 from the West Hartford Premier Challenge. My third round opponent's name, I believe, was Skylar. It was his first VGC tournament. He said he ended up top cutting. He had a pretty cool team, as you can see on the screen. He had Dragonite, Blastoise, Rotom, Heat, and Mamoswine. So Mamoswine's a Pokemon that I don't know why it's not more popular in this format. I think it has a lot of good matchups against a lot of the metagame, and I don't see why it's not used more. So here off the bat leads Mamoswine and Rotom, and I lead Sylveon and Lopunny, which is another lead I really like. And so I see this, and I immediately assume that it's Disquake, because, I see the Rotom Mamoswine lead, and I assume one of them Scarfed. And the Rotom protects, which I was a little surprised about, because I thought that when they both protected, I was surprised, because I thought that one of them was going to be Scarfed with a Disquake combo. But I was incredibly happy that it wasn't. Especially now that I know that Low Kick is an easy one-hit KO on Mamoswine, because it's so heavy. As you see, I did crit there, but it didn't matter. Low Kick, Okos, 252 HP, Mamoswine with ease. As you do see Discharge come out, and luckily nothing gets paralyzed, unlike on Showdown where everything gets paralyzed. And as you see, Sylveon's Hyper Voice does almost half damage to a Rotom that resists it, and Rotom are relatively bulky. I know Rotom Heat aren't typically especially bulky, but it's still pretty impressive. As you see, Blastoise is Mega Ring now reacting with the Mega Stone. So at this point in the match, like I said, I'm feeling pretty good again about where I'm going with this. As you see, Return almost picks up the KO as Overheat comes out on the Lopunny. And Lopunny is not able to take that, unfortunately. But like I said, I'm in pretty good shape because, of course, nothing that this Blastoise can do can take out my Sylveon. I don't know, maybe a Water Spout can, but my opponent opts to run Water Pulse instead, which I think is honestly a better move. More reliable move, I guess. As Hyper Voice is going to pick up the KO on Rotom, and like I said, does over half once again to the Blastoise. So I send out my third Pokemon, which is Gengar, and he sends out his last Pokemon, which is his Dragonite. Of course, I switch out Sylveon because I don't want Sylveon taking I just didn't want Sylveon taking any more damage. I didn't want to activate the weakness policy, and I didn't want to risk doubling into a Protect, so he protects Blastoise as Gengar goes for the Sludge Bomb into it, and Iron Head actually comes out, and I'm just like, what? Because Iron Head is not the most common thing to see on Dragonite. And so at this point, I just go for the Sludge Bomb onto, once again, Blastoise, because I know that I have this match pretty well locked up. I know he doesn't have weakness policy, which is nice. As Iron Head goes on to Gengar and actually brings it almost to Sash, which I was really surprised about. And I set up Tailwind so that way Sylveon has a good time in the back, just in case something weird happens. But the fact that he used Iron Head there on Gengar instead of Dragon Claw, I talked to him after, and he actually told me that his Dragonite is banded, which I was pretty surprised about. Definitely a unique item for Dragonite, especially someone like me who's a Dragonite lover. I was really excited to see that. So that was my match against Skylar. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for round 4.